Hey guys, what's up? This is CA Nishant Kumar and I welcome you all to complete English classes of Business Mathematics, Logical Reasoning and Statistics. First, before starting anything, let me give you a little bit overview of this subject, Paper 3, Business Mathematics, Logical Reasoning and Statistics. So, as you all know, there are three sections. One is a section for Business Mathematics, the other is the section for Logical Reasoning, and the other is a section for Statistics. All right. So, what will be our strategy in preparing this paper, right? So, the portion of Business Mathematics comprises 40 marks of your paper. The portion of logical reasoning comprises 20 marks of your paper. It's better if I write this down, right? I'll keep on scribbling down a little bit. You may want to note it, you may not want to note it. It's completely up to you. It's not, very technical thing that I'm talking about right now. So, the entire paper is divided into three parts. You have business mathematics, you have logical reasoning, and you have statistics. Business mathematics comprises 40% of your paper. Logical reasoning comprises 20% of your paper and statistics comprises 40% of your paper, right? All the questions are MCQ based, multiple choice questions. Like for one question, there'll be 4 options and you'll have to circle in the OMR sheet. You'll have to tick the right answer. Basically, you'll have to circle the right answer, circle the right option, right? A simple calculator is allowed. A simple calculator like this is allowed. The calculator which according to me is the best is ORPAT OT 512 GT. It's available on Amazon. It's available on any local shop as well. Any local stationery shop will have this calculator. It's a very commonly used calculator. And the reason that I'm recommending this calculator to you is because I have been using this calculator for the last 10 years. I mean, not this one per se, but this model for the last 10 years. And every calculator trick that I'll be teaching you works on this calculator. Now, you may be using the calculator for any other company or any other model, like you may be using a Casio calculator or a Flair calculator or any other calculator, Citizen calculator, any other calculator for that matter. They may work as well. But to be on the safer side, I would recommend you go for this calculator here. It costs only, I think, 180 or 190 rupees, maybe 200 rupees at max. And you'll be mentally, relaxed. Okay, every calculator trick that I'm going to tell you will work on this calculator as well. All right. So go for this calculator. This is a very good calculator. A simple calculator is allowed in the examination, and none of the questions that that your ICAI will ask will contain a subjective question. No question will be subjective. All the questions, 100% of your paper will be MCQ based. All right. Now, for every correct answer, you get 1 mark, and for every incorrect answer, 0.25 marks are deducted. Right. So, if you have 4 questions, okay, suppose you have 4 questions and you have answered 3 of them correctly and you have answered 1 of them incorrectly, right? So, you'll get 1 mark for every 3 questions that you've answered correctly, and you'll get minus 0.25 marks for every incorrect question. So your total score will be 3 minus 0.25, 3 minus 0.25, and your total score will be 2.75. Your total score will be 2.75. I hope I'm making myself clear, right? So the main purpose of me telling you all of this is we must not, play the guess game in examination. We do not have to make any guesses. If we know the answer, if we are 100% sure about an answer, only then we are going to mark the answer. Otherwise, we're going to leave that question, right? Because if you leave that question, you will get 0 marks. But if you answer the question incorrectly, you will get minus 0.25 marks. So we are not going to take any risk. All right. So this is a calculator, this is your weightage, and yes, the simplest, the easiest portion of your entire paper is this logical reasoning, which fetches you 20 marks, which fetches you 20%. And yes, we are going to start with logical reasoning as well. We are going to start with logical reasoning only. Now, one more thing that I would like to clarify in the first class itself is that your paper consists of 100 marks and the time allotted to solve that 100 marks paper is 120 minutes. That is 2 hours, right? So you have to solve a 100 marks paper in 120 minutes, right? Now, if you subtract 20 minutes from this, now I always take, take a provision. I always make a provision for 20 minutes. Like I'll have to go to the washroom. I'll have to drink water. I'll have to fill the OMR sheet. I'll have to look around the classroom, and I'll have to find my friend, and we'll have to speak in sign language. Oh, the paper is so simple. Oh, the paper is not so simple, and all that. So 20 minutes will get wasted anyway, right? So I'm just making a provision of these 20 minutes, and I'm deducting these 20 minutes. So you have 100 minutes. 100 minutes. So you'll have to solve 100 mark paper in 100 minutes. That means you get 1 minute for every question. On an average, you get 1 minute for every question. Having said that, there will be certain questions which cannot be solved under 1 minute. There will be certain questions which cannot be solved under 1 minute. But on the same side, on the other hand, there'll be a lot of questions which can be solved within 5 seconds or maybe 10 seconds, right? So you'll have to maintain a balance. We will try our best to solve all the questions within 1 minute, and it will not happen in one day, but it will definitely happen one day, right? If you learn something new, like today, we're going to start with direction sense tests. So you guys will be learning something absolutely new, right? So you cannot expect that as soon as you learn a concept or as soon as you solve a question, it will immediately come to you and you'll immediately be able to solve it within 1 minute. But eventually it will happen. Eventually it will happen with repeated regular practice. It will eventually happen. So don't worry about that. Just take it easy and do multiple revisions. Multiple practice is must, right? Having said that, I've told you 3 things. I've told you 3 things till now. I've told you the weightage of the paper: business mathematics 40%, LR 20%, and statistics 40%. I've told you which calculator to use. I've told you about the negative marking, and I've told you about the 1 mark, 1 minute concept. Right now, another important concept is the concept of revision. How much to revise, when to revise, all right? And for that, I make a revision schedule. I make a revision schedule, and that revision schedule, I'm just going to show you the revision schedule. So let me take you to the revision schedule, and this is the revision schedule. Now, this is how you're going to make a revision plan for my subject or for any other subject also. If you want, you can make the plan. See, what I've done is I have created this column for only topic, right? Then I've written over here February 2021, and then from 1st February to 28th of February, I've written all the dates, and corresponding to that, I've written all the days. Now, how am I going to use it? Say today is 5th of February. Right? Today is the 5th of February when you're watching this lecture, and we are doing direction sense test lecture 1, right? So the idea behind the revision is that whatever you read today has to be revised tomorrow. The first revision of everything has to be done within 24 hours. The next revision, that is the second revision, has to be done within 3 days from the first revision. And every subsequent revision has to be done after every 6 days from the second revision, right? So I'll show you, which will make it more clear. So the lecture, the questions that we are going to revise, the questions that we're going to learn today, the questions that we're going to solve today, you need to revise them tomorrow. So today is what? Today is the 5th of February. So you need to revise these questions today, and you need to revise these questions tomorrow as well, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with gray. I've colored them. So 5th and 6th. Today is the 5th. You're going to revise this today. You're going to revise this tomorrow, and then you're going to leave 3 days. You're going to leave 3 days. So I'm going to color these 3 days as well. And then you're going to revise it on the 10th of February. Right? And every subsequent revision will happen after every 6 days from the 10th day, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you leave these, and on the 7th day you're going to revise. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're gonna color these, and then 24th Feb you're going to revise. Then 25, 26, 27, 28 you're going to color it, and similarly you're going to continue this for March, you're going to continue this for April, you're going to continue this for May. So listen to me. The number of questions, the questions that we do today in the class, you're going to revise them today, you're going to revise them tomorrow, You're going to revise those very questions on 10th. You're going to revise those very questions on 17th. You're going to revise those very questions on 24th. If you're going to revise the same questions over and over again, now, can you imagine how quickly you'll be able to solve those questions if that exact question came in the exam? Right? You'll be able to solve the questions so quickly if you're going to revise multiple times. Right? Now, the second question that comes to your mind is when I explain this technique, the first question that comes to your mind is, do the same questions get repeated in the exam? Don't new questions come in the exam? If we keep on revising the same questions over and over again, how will we be able to solve any new questions that come in the exam? So for now, just mark my words, you will be able to solve new questions as well, right? A famous mathematician once said that it's better to solve one book 100 times than to solve 100 books for only one time. Right? If you keep on revising the same questions again and again, you'll keep on getting into the depth of every question, and you'll keep on getting into the depth of the concept. Into the depth of the concept. So if you read, suppose this question today, any question, if you read a question today, that is on the 5th of February, right? And you need to revise that question tomorrow, and you'll revise that question on the 10th, and you'll revise that question on the 17th, then just imagine how many times you would have read that question. And every time you read that question, you'll actually understand something new, which even I might not be able to explain you. Right? But this will happen eventually. Now, the second question that comes to your mind is, if we keep on revising the same thing so many times, then how will we be able to read anything new? Right? Eventually, a time will come when my revision amount is going to go so big. I'll have so much to revise only that at what time, when will I study anything new? Don't worry about it as well. Don't worry about it, because with every subsequent revision, your time will keep on reducing. Okay? Suppose you take 10 minutes to solve a question today, right? Obviously, it will not take you 10 minutes to solve that question tomorrow. Obviously, it will not take it may take maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. A question which takes 10 minutes to solve today, when you're reading it for the first time, it will take you only 2 to 3 minutes to solve it tomorrow. All right, and the time taken to solve that question will keep on reducing with every subsequent revision. So do not worry about that. Just follow this revision schedule blindly, and you'll see the results for yourself. All right, so I have made the revision schedule for today's lecture, right, for the month of February. Now it will extend for the months of March, April, and all. Now, one more thing, there would be many questions which you will find repetitive. Right? Same type of questions will keep on getting repeated. So what you can do at the third or the fourth revision, not the first, second revisions, at the third, fourth, maybe fifth revision, you'll be able to identify, okay, this question is exactly the same. So I don't need to revise both the questions, right? So eventually you'll keep on striking off the questions which according to you, you don't need to revise, and you'll be left with only a handful of questions which you need to revise with every subsequent revision. And this will automatically make you a list of the questions which you will have to revise just a day before the exam. So from the very first class, you are preparing yourself for the last day before the exam, right? Because at the last day, this is a very general and very common question that keeps on popping in students' minds, that how much to revise, from where to revise, what all questions to revise. I'm nobody to tell you that. You are the ones who have to decide, right? Because according to me, there may be some question which is very easy, but for you that may be a difficult question. Now, if you haven't striked that difficult question off, then you will keep on revising it. If you ask me, I may not even mention that question, and if that question comes in the exam, you'll get confused. All right. So direction sense test lecture 1, this is the revision schedule of lecture 1. So please follow this. Now suppose tomorrow I'll help you make this revision schedule every day. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll help you make this revision schedule every day. Just don't worry about it. Today is the 5th of February, and today we are going to do direction sense test. Today's lecture, in today's lecture, whatever we're going to study, you'll have to revise it today, you'll have to revise it tomorrow, you'll have to revise it on 10th, you'll have to revise it on 17th, you'll have to revise it on 24th, and then you'll have to revise it after every 6 days, right? So let's come back this is just a brief of the entire subject which I wanted to share with you all. And now what we're going to do is, the first thing, we are going to download the PDF of this chapter, right? The question as regards the books, when do we order the books? I strongly suggest you don't order the ICAI books. Do not order the books, because in the printed material there are many mistakes which ICAI keeps on correcting in the digital mode, right? So if you just come on the ICAI website now, this is the ICAI website, right? If you just click here on the student section and you click here on BOS knowledge portal, and then you will click here new scheme of education and training. In this, you click here on foundation course and you will get all the subjects. So you click here on paper 3, business mathematics, logical reasoning and statistics, and then there's this line then there's this link, study material relevant for May 21 examination onwards, right? Just click here on this link and you will get the PDF of the entire book, all the chapters. Right now we are going to start with chapter number 10, direction test. Just click over here and you will get the PDF of this book, right? Because a lot of errors which keep on creeping in the study material, institute keeps on correcting those errors in the ebook version. But obviously once a book has reached you, how can institute come to your house and correct the mistakes? All right, so this is the study material for chapter 10. I have opened it and I'll create a copy for this. I'll create a copy, just give me 1 second. I'll create a copy for this, and now I have created a copy. And now the reason for this is because in one tab I'll keep the questions and in the other tab I'll keep the answers. All right, so direction sense test is a very simple concept. See, this is the compass, this is the compass, right? You know that there's a north direction, south direction, east direction, west direction. Between south and east we have southeast. Between north and east we have northeast. Between north and west we have northwest, and between west and south we have southwest, right? Before beginning into this chapter in detail, let me just quickly take you to the Unacademy website. All right, so this is the Unacademy website which you can see behind me. India's top educators are on this platform to give you the best quality education possible, right? You can simply click here on start learning. You can then select your goal, CA and CS. After clicking here on CA and CS, click here on CA Foundation and Intermediate, and then you'll see what all you'll get. These are the live classes that are going on right now. See, these are the live classes that are going on right now. You get to prepare with top educators and you get a lot of batches for syllabus completion. And let me tell you, soon enough, we are going to launch a plus batch for completely English speaking students like you, right? So we are soon enough going to launch a batch for a plus batch on Unacademy. Before that, you can actually just click here on see all and you can see all the batches which are available. And if you've taken the Unacademy Plus subscription, all these batches will be accessible to you. You won't have to pay for any particular batch. You won't have to pay to any particular educator. You just have to make one payment to Unacademy and it will be your key for unlocking all these. Can you see the small lock icons on all these batches, right? So just one subscription will unlock all these batches absolutely free of cost. One subscription will just unlock all these batches, and the batches are for CA Foundation, the batches are for CA Intermediate as well, right? So our batch, the batch of the Bahubali team is going on from 23rd of November. It's called the Lakshya May 2021, but this is like in the mixed language, Hindi and English mix. A completely English batch is soon going to be launched. Now, how do you take the subscription? You have to click here on get subscription, and you can go for the plus subscription. You can go for the iconic subscription. In plus subscription, you get India's best educators. You get interactive live classes. You get structured courses and PDFs. You get live tests and quizzes. And let me tell you some other things which are not mentioned here. You get dedicated doubt clearing sessions. You get colored notes. You get personalized attention. You get a lot of other things as well, right? In the iconic subscription, other than the plus benefits, you get a personal coach. You get printed books, you get a progress tracker, and you get a discussion channel as well. there's a discussion channel as well. All right. So if you just click here on Select Plus, you can take the subscription for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months. I would recommend you to go for the subscription for 24 months because it includes CA Foundation as well as CA Intermediate, right? So the cost is extremely less as you can compare it with all the with the cost of all the other coaching institutes. You can just Google the cost and you'll find that it costs you around 1,50,000 rupees. 1,50,000 rupees for CA Foundation and Intermediate, whereas here you're getting it only for 21,000. And if you just enter my code over here, Nish10, and you click here on apply, it will cost you only 18,900 rupees. Similarly with Iconic, there's 12-month subscription and 24-month subscription. With Nish10, you get 10% discount as well. So do subscribe to Unacademy Plus and use the my code Nish10 to get 10% discount. Now coming back to the Mudda at hand, and we have North, we have East, we have South, we have West, we have Northeast, we have Southeast, we have Southwest, we have Northwest. Now it's very simple. It's actually very simple. I'm just going to take you through the questions and you will see how simple it is. All right. So let's come to example 1. Let's come to example 1. This is example 1. Page number, let me tell you, page number is 10.2. Page number is 10.2. This is example 1. See, a man starts walking from a point and walks 2 kilometers to north, turns towards his right and walks 2 kilometers, turns right again and walks. What is the direction that he's facing now? What is the direction that he's facing now? Let me do it. Let me read the question again. A man starts from a point and walks 2 kilometers north. We know that this is north. Okay? This is south. This is east. This is west. This is northeast. This is southwest. This is southeast and this is northwest. Right? Now, when it says that a person starts from a point and started moving towards north. So north is where? North is upwards, right? So I'm reading, a person starts moving from a point and he moves towards north. All right. He's moving towards north. Then he turns towards his right and walks 2 kilometers. Then he turns towards his right. All right. Now a person going in this direction, his right would be on this direction and his left would be on this direction. Yes, a person who's moving in this direction, his right would be on this direction and his left would be on this direction. It's very common sense, right? A person moving in this direction, if he has to turn right, he'll move here. And if he has to turn left, he'll move over here. A person who's moving in this direction, his right is here, his left is here. Okay? And a person moving in this direction, his right is here, his left is here. It's very natural, it's very basic, it's very common sense, right? So a person starts from a point and started moving towards north direction. A person starts from a point and walks 2 kilometers towards north. All right. He walks 2 kilometers towards north. Okay. Turns towards his right and walks for 2 kilometers. All right. Now he turns towards his right and walks for 2 kilometers. That's great. Turns right and again walks. Turns right again and walks. He turns right again and walks. So he turns right again and walks. All right. In which direction is he facing now? What is the direction that he's facing now? So obviously he's facing the south direction. He's facing the south direction. These are the simplest of the questions, and these questions do come in your exam, right? That is the reason I always start with logical reasoning, because it fetches you more marks and it's very simple. All right. So once again, a person starts from a point, walks 2 kilometers towards north. A person starts from a point, walks 2 kilometers towards north, right? Then he turns towards right, then he turns towards right. So a person moving in this direction, his right would be on this direction. And then again he turns right. So a person moving in this direction, his right would be on this direction. His right would be on this direction. And now he is facing the south direction. He is facing the south direction. So the answer is south. I hope everybody has got it. Say Nish 10, Nish 10, Nish 10. All right. Then let's move on to the next question. The next question is question number 4. It's page 10.3, question number 4, example 4 basically. Page 10.3, example 4. Let's see. A man starts from a point, walks 2 kilometers towards north, turns towards his right and walks 2 kilometers, turns right again and walks. What is the direction that is now facing? So this question is exactly like example number 1. So you can easily do it in homework, right? So we'll move on to the next example number 5. All right. So Janki started from a house and walked 2 kilometers towards north. All right. So Janki started from a house. Suppose this is Janki's house and she started walking 2 kilometers towards north. Then she took a right turn and covered 1 kilometer. All right. Then she took a right turn and covered 1 kilometer. Then she took again a right turn and walked for 2 kilometers. Then she again took a right turn and walked for 2 kilometers. In what direction is she going? Again, she is going in the south direction. So basically the examples 1, 4 and 5 are exactly the same, right? So we can move on. Now let's come to the exercise question number 1. See. Mohan starts from point A and walks 1 kilometers towards south. Turns left and walks for 1 kilometer. Then he again turns left and walks for 1 kilometer. Now he is facing. Very simple. All you have to do is just keep in mind the directions, all right? And these are the directions. These are this is a small compass that you can you can make for every question, right? So we are doing question number 1. Mohan starts from point A and walks 1 kilometers towards south. Now I'll draw a small compass just for my reference. Okay, this is north, south, east and west. This is northeast. This is southwest, this is southeast and this is northwest. After a few questions you won't even have to draw this. It will be automatically there in your mind. Then only there'll be a few questions where you'll feel the need to draw this kind of a diagram, but it's fine. So he started walking from point A 1 kilometers towards south. All right, so suppose this is point A. He walked 1 kilometer towards south. 1 kilometer towards south. All right, south is this. Turns left and walks for 1 kilometer. Now he's moving in this direction. Right will be this and left will be this. Okay, it's common sense. If he's moving in this direction, right will be this, left will be this. All right, so the question says that he turns left. Great. Next. Then he turns left again and walks for 1 kilometer. Now he's moving in this direction. Right will be here and left will be over here. So left and walks for 1 kilometer. Now he's facing, now he's facing, now he's facing, now he's facing north. Right? So question number 1 is option C. Option C is the answer. I hope everybody has got it. Say Nishten, Nishten, Nishten. Alright. So this is a dialogue that I keep on saying in Hindi. Sabko samajh mein aa gaya, bolo Nishten, Nishten, Nishten. So its literal translation is everybody has got it. Say Nishten, Nishten, Nishten. Alright, so this is exactly what I'm going to keep on doing. Now let's come to question number 2. Suresh starts from a point, walks 2 miles towards south. Alright. He walks 2 miles towards south. Got it. Then turns right and walks 1.5 miles. Now he's moving in this direction. Right will be here. So he turns right and walks 1.5 miles. Great. Turns left and walks 1.5 miles and turns back. All right, turns left and walks 1.5 miles. So he's moving in this direction. Right will be this, left will be this. So he turns left and walks 1.5 miles and then he turns back. Then he turns back. So obviously when a person is moving in this direction and it is said that he turns back. So back will be what? This direction, right? Back will be the about turn, right? If you remember in schools, it used to happen, squadron, or whatever it was, squad, about, turn, right? So if he is moving in this direction and the question says that it's going back, it's turning back, so about turn, right? So now it came over here and then he turned back, so now he is facing in which direction? Now he is facing the north direction. Now it's facing the north direction. So question number 2, answer option is D. I hope everybody has got it. Say Nishten, Nishten, Nishten. All right, moving on. Next question, question number 3. We'll see question number 3. So these are the simple questions that come in logical reasoning. So you can see that's why I start with logical reasoning all the time. A man starts from a point, walks 4 miles towards north and turns left and walks 6 miles. Take care. Turns right and walks for 3 miles, and again turns right and walks 4 miles, and then takes rest for 30 minutes. He gets up and walks straight 2 miles in the same direction. Turns right and walks 1 mile. What direction is he facing? What direction is he facing? Great. So a man starts from a point, walks 4 miles towards north. All right. walks 4 miles towards north. Turns left and walks 6 miles. Turns left and walks 6 miles. Turns right and walks for 3 miles. Turns right and walks for 3 miles. And again right and walks for 4 miles. Again right and walks 4 miles. Takes rest for 30 minutes. Gets up and walks straight 2 miles in the same direction and turns right and walks 1 mile. Turns right and walks 1 mile. What is the direction he is facing? He is facing the south direction. He is facing the south direction. Now, some of you must be wondering, what about these distances? 1 mile, 2 mile, 1.5 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles. What about these distances? What about these distances? Why are these distances given in the question? Right? So let me tell you, there are majorly two categories of questions, or majorly two types of questions which are being asked in the examination. One is the kind of questions that we've been doing so far. In which direction is he facing? Right? So if the question is asking in which direction is he facing, the distances do not matter. All right? How does it matter if I show 1 mile till here or 1 mile till here? He'll still be facing the south direction. Okay. How will it matter if I'll show left में how many miles, like 5 miles here or till 5 miles over here? It won't matter, because even if he's standing over here, he's facing the west direction, and even if he's standing over here, he's facing the west direction. Distances start making an existence. Distances are relevant when we solve the questions of the second category, and those are how far is he from his starting position, or in which direction is he from his starting position. When the question will start asking you in which direction is he from his starting position, then only distances will come into play. All right, so we'll do those kind of questions later. Right now we are only focusing on the first type of questions, and the first type of questions are in which direction is he facing now. So if the question is asking in which direction he is facing, then you don't need to pay attention to the distances. But if the question is asking how far is he from, in which direction is he from his original position, then yes, you need to pay attention to the distances, right? So also the first step, as you may have noticed, I read the entire question in the beginning. All right, I have categorized all the questions together. Right, I have categorized all the questions of the same type together, so I know what kind of question is it. What kind of question it is. It is very easy for me to just read one line and start making the diagram and solve the questions. But I won't do that. I want you to inculcate this habit that first of all you need to read the question from start to finish. Right, that is how you'll get to know. That's how you'll get to know. Okay, the question is asking what is the direction that he is facing. In which direction is he facing? So we do not need to pay attention to the distances, right? We do not need to pay attention to the distances. Now, a man starts from a point, walks 4 miles towards north, walks 4 miles towards, I think we did this question, right? No? Yeah, we did this question. Its answer is option B. There's a diagram of this question only, na? He's facing the south direction. Great. We'll move on to the next question, and the next question we'll do is question number 5. Question number 5. See, like question number 4. For 1 minute, look at question number 4. In which direction is he from his start point? So when we'll do these kind of questions, then we'll have to pay attention to the distances as well. And we'll do these kind of questions later, right? Right now, you come to question number 5. See, A starts from a point and walks 5 kilometers north, then turns left and walks 3 kilometers, then again turns left and walks 5 kilometers. Point out the direction in which he is going now. Simple. 5 kilometers towards north, all right. 5 kilometers towards north, then turns left and walks 3 kilometers, turns left and walks 3 kilometers, then again turns left and walks 5 kilometers. Point out the direction in which he is going now. Obviously, he is going in the south direction. I hope everybody has got it. Say Nishten, Nishten, Nishten. Alright, moving on. Next, question number 6. A rat runs for 20 kilometers towards east, turns to right, runs for 10 kilometers, turns to right, runs for 9 kilometers, again turns to left, runs for 5 kilometers, then turns to left, runs for 12 kilometers, and finally turns to left and runs for 6 kilometers. Now, in which direction is the rat facing? Which direction is the rat facing? Great. No issues. A rat runs for 20 kilometers towards east. All right. This is the starting point of the rat. He runs 20 kilometers towards east and turns to right and runs for 10 kilometers. Turns to right, runs for 9 kilometers. And again turns to left, runs for 5 kilometers. And turns to left, runs for 12 kilometers. Finally turns to left and runs for 6 kilometers. Which direction is the rat facing? Rat is facing the north direction. Rat is facing the north direction. Option B is the answer. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish 10. Alright. Moving on. Next, the question number 7. Question number 7. A driver left his village and drove north for 20 kilometers, after which he stopped for breakfast. Then he turned left and drove for another 30 kilometers, where he stopped for lunch. After some rest, he again turned left and drove 20 kilometers before stopping for evening tea. Once more, he turned left and drove 30 kilometers to reach the town where he had supper. After evening tea, in which direction did he drive? Great. Drove north for 20 kilometers. Drove north for 20 kilometers, after which he stopped for breakfast. Then he turned left and drove another 30 kilometers, when he stopped for lunch. After some time, he again turned left and drove 20 kilometers before stopping for evening tea. Once more, he turned left and drove 30 kilometers to reach the town where he had supper. After evening tea, in which direction did he drive? So here he had evening tea. He drove in the east direction after that. He drove in the east direction after that. So the answer is option B. Question number 7. Answer is option B. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish 10. All right. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Next question, question number 15. Question number 15. Here it is on your computer screens. A man started walking towards west. A man started walking towards west. He turned right, then right again, and finally turned left. Towards which direction was he walking now? A man started walking west. A man started walking west. He then turned right, then right again, and finally turned left. Towards which direction was he walking now? So he is walking in the north direction. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish 10. Question number 15. Answer is option A. Right. We'll move on to question number 18 now. A man on a moped starts from a point and rides 4 kilometers south. Then turns left and rides 2 kilometers. Turns again to the right to ride to go more. Turns again to the right. Towards which direction is he moving now? He is moving in the south direction. He is moving in the south direction. Question number 18. Answer is option D. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish 10. Question number 23. I drove east for 5 miles, then drove north for 3 miles, then turned to my left and drove for 2 miles, and again turned to my left. Which direction am I going now? I drove east for 5 miles. Then drove north for 3 miles. Then turned to my left and drove for 2 miles and again turned to my left. Which direction am I going now? I am going in the south direction. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish 10. 10. Moving on, question number 26. Here it is on your computer screens. A taxi driver commenced his journey from a point and drove 10 kilometers towards north. A taxi driver commenced his journey from a point and drove 10 kilometers towards north and turned to his left and drove another 5 kilometers. After waiting to meet a friend here, he turned to his right and continued to drive another 10 kilometers. He has covered a distance of 25 kilometers so far, but in which direction would he be now? Okay. So he commenced his journey from a point and drove 10 kilometers towards north. And turned to his left and drove another 5 kilometers. After waiting to meet a friend here, he turned to his right and continued to drive another 10 kilometers. He has covered a distance of 25 kilometers so far, but in which direction would he be now? He is currently in the north direction. 26th, option B is the answer. I hope everybody has got it. Say nish 10, nish 10, nish, 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 nish 10. So I think we will stop it over here for today. All right. We have done quite a few questions. Now I want you to go through the revision sheet, go through the revision schedule that I've made in the beginning of this video and follow that revision schedule, right? Your revision has to be in lecture wise manner, right? So like if I'll show you the revision sheet, this is the revision sheet. All right. So when you write it over here now, direction sense test, then write the question numbers that we have done so far. Like example 1, then example 3, then example 5, or whatever the question numbers. I don't remember the question numbers, but you may have noted them somewhere, or you may have at least marked them somewhere, or you can rewind the video and make a note of all the questions that we have done so far. So you are supposed to revise only those many questions on 5th. That is today. You are required to revise. You are supposed to revise only those many questions on 6th, only those many questions on 10th, only those many questions on 17th. Even though by 7th or 8th we will complete the entire chapter, but still you will go lecture wise. You go lecture wise. Only you go lecture wise. All right. So that's it from my side. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wish you all the very best. And do subscribe to Unacademy Plus and use the code NISH10 to get 10% discount. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.